No, but when I can, I go in the sea. I have a boat. I like very much. Now I'm learning the windsurf.
Oh, you're kidding.
And
Hello, please comment want to have a full day of energy today. Growing up in the spotlight of one of the world's greatest singers isn't always an easy gift to bear. Andrea Bocelli's children, Amos, Matteo, and Virginia, all have artistic blood in their veins, but their lives have taken very different paths. Why did eldest son, Amos, choose to live a reclusive life despite his musical talent? Can Matteo overcome his legendary father's enormous shadow? And where is Virginia, a 13-year-old who debuted at the age of 8, going on her musical journey? The Bocelli family today. The Bocelli household stands as a testament to the power of musical heritage, spanning 2 marriages and 3 children. Behind the world-famous tenor's public persona exists a close-knit family where music serves as the heartbeat of their daily interactions. Andrea Bocelli is the proud father of 3 children who span different generations and musical journeys. His family includes 2 sons from his first marriage, Amos, 29, and Matteo, 27, along with his youngest child, daughter Virginia, who is 13 years old. The significant age gap between his children reflects different chapters in the tenor's personal life, with Virginia being born approximately 15 years after Matteo. Each child has developed their relationship with music, although in distinctly personal ways. Amos, born on February 22, 1995, represents the start of Andrea's journey into fatherhood. His middle child, Matteo, born on October 8, 1997, has embraced the spotlight more readily than his older brother. Meanwhile, Virginia, born on March 21, 2012, has already begun following in her father's musical footsteps despite her young age. The Bocelli family structure reflects Andrea's 2 marriages. His first wife, Enrica Senzati, is the mother of his 2 sons, Amos and Matteo. After their relationship ended, Andrea found love again with Veronica Berti, who is 25 years his junior. The couple welcomed Virginia in 2012, and interestingly, they married 2 years later in 2014, specifically choosing their daughter's 2nd birthday for their wedding ceremony. This blended family shares a luxurious life in a former hotel in the charming Tuscan town of Forte dei Marmi. Despite the age differences between siblings and their different mothers, the family appears closely bonded through their shared passion for music. For the Bocellis, music isn't merely a career, but the foundation of family life. Andrea himself has described music as an integral part of their household, noting, "We sit around a piano with the same daily frequency that we sit around our kitchen table. These are beautiful moments that we share as a family in the house as well as on the stage." Virginia has acknowledged this impact, saying, "From a young age, I'd listen to him sing all day around the house. This influenced me to also sing all day around the house, but I wasn't singing typical children's songs. Instead, I was singing opera songs." The family's musical connection culminated in the 2022 holiday album, A Family Christmas, featuring Andrea with Matteo and Virginia. Andrea called this project a beautiful and amazing opportunity to highlight family importance, adding, "Family for me has always been the most important thing in my life." While Matteo Bocelli's name is increasingly appearing on the big stages with his father, his eldest son Amos has chosen a different path, less noisy, less flashy, but no less respectable. So what makes Amos Bocelli become the quiet achiever in this prestigious musical family? Amos Bocelli, the quiet achiever. Unlike his father, who is known worldwide for his captivating tenor voice and dazzling stage performances, Amos Bocelli, the eldest son of Andrea Bocelli, has chosen a quieter but no less brilliant path. Born on February 22, 1995, in Pisa, Amos is the product of Andrea and Enrica Senzati's first marriage. The name Amos is not simply a random choice, but carries deep emotional value, named after Amos Bocelli, a highly influential mentor who accompanied Andrea during his law school years. Despite growing up in an artistic environment, where music was almost a second language for the family, Amos showed a desire to explore the world through the lens of science. He graduated with a Bachelor of Arts in piano from the Luigi Boccherini Conservatory, where he honed his classical music technique. However, music was only one part of Amos's diverse educational background. He continued his studies at the University of Pisa, where he completed both his bachelor's and master's degrees in aerospace, engineering, a challenging field that requires logical thinking, precision, and a passion for space technology. Not stopping at academics, Amos was always so impressed with his promising engineering career. He interned at the European Space Agency, ESA, one of the world's leading organizations in space research, and worked at investment firm Pictet Asset Management, where he honed his analytical and strategic planning skills. Andrea once shared that her eldest son possesses a scientific mind, which led Amos to a different professional path than most of his family members. However, pursuing engineering did not mean that Amos completely abandoned music, an undeniable legacy that runs through his veins. The rare occasions when he appeared on stage left a strong impression. In particular, in 2013, Amos accompanied his father on the piano at the Sanremo Music Festival, Italy's largest national music event. That moment was very emotional, as it was on that stage 18 years ago that Andrea performed while Enrica was pregnant with Amos. In addition, Amos has also appeared on several of Andrea Bocelli's studio albums and provided musical support for the song Tempo, a collaboration project with his younger brother, Matteo Bocelli. The combination of the two brothers not only shows the close family affection, but also reflects the intersection of two worlds. One is technical, and the other is performing. Beyond science and art, Amos also plays an important role in the charity field, especially in the Andrea Bocelli Foundation, ABF. Since April 2016, he has been a member of the foundation's board of directors, along with a leadership position at Olmud Edizioni Musicali, Andrea Bocelli's company, in charge of commercial and management affairs since January 2014. But more importantly, Amos has combined his technical knowledge to lead humanitarian initiatives. A prominent example is the ABF eThea project, a wearable system designed to help blind and visually impaired people navigate unstructured spaces. It is a major step forward in combining technology and humanitarianism, helping to improve the quality of life for those less fortunate. Research and technology have always been an integral part of my education, Amos shares. I have a degree in aerospace engineering, and I wanted to apply that skill to my work at ABF from the very beginning. Amos Bocelli, with his artistic heart and technical mind, is gradually asserting himself as a quiet pillar of the Bocelli family. He does not need the spotlight to shine. It is his dedication, learning and quiet dedication that make Amos' journey so special and admirable. What about Andrea Bocelli's second son? Matteo Bocelli, with his charismatic looks and powerful tenor voice, seems to have been born to follow in his legendary father's footsteps. But is that spotlight a gift, or is it an invisible pressure weighing down on his every step on the musical path? Let's explore the journey of a rising star between family expectations and the desire to assert himself. Matteo Bocelli, rising star under pressure. Matteo Bocelli, the second son of Andrea Bocelli, entered the music industry under the huge shadow of his famous father. Despite being born into a musical family, Matteo's journey was not easy, especially when he had to face great expectations and inevitable comparisons with his legendary father. However, he has proven that despite carrying the Bocelli name, his musical identity is unique and strong. Born on October 8, 1997, in Forte dei Marmi, Italy, Matteo began to be exposed to music at a very young age. His father, Andrea Bocelli, who is known for his legendary tenor voice, encouraged Matteo to learn piano when he was just 6 years old. However, despite his strong passion for music, Matteo was very shy and only sang for his mother because he felt inferior and lacked the confidence to express himself in front of his father. "I always sang when I was little, but I only sang in front of my mother, never in front of my father, because I was a bit shy," he shared. So it wasn't until Matteo was around 16 that Andrea realized that her son had a great singing ability when his mother asked Andrea to listen to Matteo sing at home. Matteo studied piano at the Lucca Conservatory in Italy, where he completed a bachelor's degree in piano at the Luigi Boccherini Institute for Music Studies. But it didn't stop there. Matteo also began to show his singing ability and became a well-rounded artist with both musical skills. His music career took off in 2018 with the song "Fall on Me," an emotional duet with his father on Andrea's album Sigh. The song quickly gained global attention and was featured in Disney's The Nutcracker and the Four Realms. This duet creates a wonderful musical moment as Andrea's tenor blends with Matteo's brighter, fresher voice, creating a deep conversation between two generations. However, despite his rising career, Matteo has maintained a rather private personal life. Although he has stepped into the limelight and has a growing fan base, Matteo has always avoided the scrutiny of his private life. According to many sources, he has never publicly announced any romantic relationships, and it seems that he has chosen to live a more private life to protect his privacy. Matteo continues to develop his independent music career, an important step in his journey to find his own artistic identity. After years of collaborating with his father, he released his first single, Solo, in 2021, marking a clear shift towards contemporary pop, far from the classical crossover music for which he is known. Matteo's debut album, released on September 22, 2023, coinciding with his father's birthday, has demonstrated his maturity and personal aspirations in music. Matteo is currently on a global tour to promote his album. He has performed at major venues across Europe, the United States, Dubai, and Australia. And in March 2024, he had a special moment at the 96th Academy Awards, where he performed a duet of Time to Say Goodbye with his father, produced by Hans Zimmer. This is an important milestone in Matteo's career, as he not only asserts his talent, but also continues to be attached to his family and the musical legacy his father built. With all these achievements, Matteo Bocelli is gradually proving that he is not only the son of Andrea Bocelli, but also a promising artist and a rising star in the international music scene. However, his journey is still long, and comparisons with his legendary father will continue to be a big challenge for him. But can Matteo step out of Andrea's huge shadow and shine in his way? Like her brothers, Virginia Bocelli has not been able to avoid the public eye as the daughter of music legend Andrea Bocelli. However, while her brothers have embarked on musical careers, Virginia has chosen a different path for herself. So how did Virginia Bocelli grow up in the spotlight, and does she want to follow the path her parents have laid out for her? Virginia Bocelli, growing up in the spotlight. Born in 2012 to Andrea Bocelli and his second wife, Veronica Berti, Virginia embodies a fresh chapter in the family's storied musical legacy. Despite her tender age, the youngest Bocelli has already carved out her own space in the spotlight alongside her world-famous father. Virginia made her professional debut at the remarkably young age of 8, joining her father for a touching duet of Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah during the 2020 Believe in Christmas livestream. This sensational performance has since accumulated over 18.5 million views on YouTube. Described by Andrea as Virginia's Christmas gift to me, the moment was particularly special. Us sitting on the stage, a guitar, the silence around us, her voice intermingled with mine. It is a moment that I carry in my heart. Subsequently, Virginia has joined her father for numerous performances, including singing Beethoven's Ich lieb dich while playing piano in 2021. Most recently, the father-daughter duo recorded Dare to Be for the 2024 film Cabrini, where they performed both in Italian and English. Remarkably, Virginia maintains a refreshing childlike perspective on her growing fame. Andrea has described his daughter as the true embodiment of music as experienced through the eyes of a child, as pure joy. Yet, she has acknowledged feeling nervous about performing. Sometimes I'm shy, like singing with my dad, Virginia once admitted during an interview, adding with charming candor about her father, "You know, like he's pretty good." Through guidance from her musical family, particularly her father and brother Matteo, Virginia has grown more comfortable on stage. "My dad taught me how to use my voice, and that influenced my life," she explained. "And Matteo told me, you should sing and do everything with no regret." Beyond her musical endeavors, pursues several other passions. In January 2023, she walked the runway in Mona Lisa's Fall/Winter 2023 fashion show. Equally impressive are her gymnastics achievements. In April 2023, Virginia placed first at the Regional Gymnastics Championship in Tuscany. At home, Virginia represents the typical playful preteen despite her extraordinary circumstances. She has playfully teased her father about his musical preferences. Sometimes, like, "I wake up in the morning too, like Caruso. I'm like, it's 7 in the morning, go back to bed." Conversely, Virginia has noted her father sometimes responds to her pop music with, "What is this noise?" Andrea Bocelli's children have all gone their separate ways in their careers, but they are all shadowed by their father. What do you think about the pressure that children of big stars like Andrea Bocelli face? Can they overcome their parents' shadow and create their success? Have you ever been the child of great men? How does that feel? Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. We would love to hear from you. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more interesting updates. Thank you.